Good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking a minute out of your day to watch today's video. Hey, today we're joined with President and founder of PLS, Mike Netherton. I think it's really important for everybody to understand where PLS comes from, where we're going, and some of the things that we offer, and to get to know Mike a little more on a personal level. Guys, I know he's very anxious to meet each and every one of you, and that'll all happen in due time. I'll have him out with me. One thing I wanted to talk about before we get started. Hey, if you'll respond to this email, just let me know you watched it or comment in the video link from YouTube. Watched it. I'm going to take all those names, enter them into a drawing. If you don't want to do those things, you can text me. Either way, any way you want to let me know you watched it, we're going to have a drawing for a gift card, guys. I'll pick a winner at random and we'll get that out to you. So without any further ado, Mike Netherton. Yourself to everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Joe, for having me. And quite frankly, thanks for joining the company. We're looking forward to what you have to offer and what you're going to do for our company.
You know, as you know, I'm ecstatic on some of the things that you've done here recently to kind of move PLS forward, and I'm ecstatic to be a part of that team. And I think there's some big things in store.
I think there are. We have a vision, and it takes the right people to execute that vision. And you're one of those pieces. And we're excited once again to have you join the company in the capacity you're going to be in.
Thank you. It's going to be a fun ride, and I hope everybody watching this video today recognizes that and will come along for the ride.
I hope so. Listen, our goal is to expand our customer base with your relationships and some others that we've recently hired, and to grow, right? And all we really need from people is an opportunity. And what they might learn is they have another viable solution. You can never have enough friends, right?
Exactly.
We possibly can be one of those people, and good business partners.
So let's boil that down a little bit, Mike. Let's start. So basically, this is going out to many contractors in Indiana in general, and a lot of people that work in distribution that help us with the contractors. So I want everybody to kind of get a sense of who you are, Mike, as a person outside of work. I think that's very important.
Okay. So listen, family is like the foundation for me. My wife, Laura, who is involved a little bit in the company, back of the house, payroll expenses, that type of stuff. She does that from afar. She does that from home. She doesn't want to be here in the office, which is fine. She's great. She's my rock. We're empty nesters now. We have two kids, young adults. They're awesome. My daughter Haley is the oldest, and she is in working on getting her doctorate in conservations, and she got married this summer amidst COVID. My son graduated this spring from DePaul University, where he swam there for 4 years. So we're a swimmer family. So we've been involved in swimming for 16, 18 years. And so that's been fun. Matthew's local and got a job amidst COVID and is doing well. So when I'm not working, my wife and I walk a lot. We're involved in our neighborhood. My wife is very involved in our church's pantry in Hamilton County. That's very important to us. And and we love animals. So our dog Riley is she's pretty much the queen of the house. So she's pretty awesome.
You talked about your wife there several times, Mike, and as you know, when you and I initiated this conversation about me coming to work for you, it was I think I told you straight up, you don't have to convince me, you have to convince my wife. Mm-hmm. And I think at the end of the day, you didn't convince my wife, Laura did.
That's great.
So, Mike and I were able to sit down with our wives and talk through this, life-changing business decision for me. and it became very apparent that it was a family decision for both of us, and you allowed your wife to come into that conversation to speak to it, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Laura's seen a lot of things in 31 years and in the business. And so, when I started in the business 31 years ago, March of 90, I was the new kid on the block, as the Juno kid here in town, and I called on everybody. I called on every contractor in the phone book. I did business with a lot of them, not all of them, and that's how I got my start. I've traveled overseas as a national sales manager, working with vendors. So I've traveled China and South Korea. That was exciting, and that was pre 911. So it was more fun than traveling is today. And I've been back in this side of the business since '97, and I've owned the company since 2003. So my wife has seen a lot. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's been really good overall, right? Everything in life has a greener pasture on the other side of the fence on some days, and then on other days, your side is green. So, it's that's life.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you started the company in 2003. Give us a little bit about a brief history of the company, and then we'll get to where PLS is now.
Well, so in 2003, started the company as really a residential light commercial company, right? We did multifamily, but not multifamily like downtown podium style, right? With parking garages and everything. We did the 16 building, garden style apartments initially. It took fewer lines to do that, and I had the relationships. So, we did a tremendous amount of residential business, a tremendous amount of multifamily. So that, that's the original roots, I guess, moving into commercial. We got an opportunity in 2009 to become the Daybright reps, and did, and we're the Daybright Capri Omega guys till, well, I guess until Phillips decided to snap things in a line and bring everything together. At that time, I didn't see a future there, and so we're very fortunate. I sent a text to someone I hadn't talked to in 20 years at Juno. Fortunately, his phone number didn't change, and got a response back very, very quickly. Conversations ensued. And, we went back to work for Juno, but basically 20 years from the month that I left them the first time. We certainly grew that business, and, and sometimes life and business not being always fair. We certainly know that about Corona right now. We had a major acquisition of Juno that put all reps in the country out, all sales managers out, factories closed. They moved product from Chicago to out of the country, quite frankly, and we had to pivot, and we did, and it's worked out well. I mean, we found new partners and really strong partners in lines like Nora and Orion and some other people. And we've just done, we've adjusted. Life is about adjusting. We've been adjusting the last 6-8 months now with COVID. We'll continue to adjust until, things get back to a previous norm, if that's even remotely possible.
Sure.
So business is about adjusting. That's what we've done. My wife has been there through that, and we've, if anything, we're resilient. I'll say that. So we're resilient.
That leads me into the next question, basically, Mike. So where is PLS today? I mean, what where does the company sit as we sit here?
Great question. Would have had a harder time answering that in March and April and May.
Yeah.
Was a bit nervous. I don't know anyone that probably wasn't a little nervous then. Maybe not some of the major e-commerce people as that business shot up, as people sat in their homes, quarantined for the most part. But I'm happy to say that by year's end, we will have one of our 2 best years ever. I've said to my people multiple times that I think that we made the most of COVID. What does that mean? Early on in March, I saw on LinkedIn, it's the only social media that I do, that getting the word out electronically was going to become the future, or one of the future channels. Joe obviously acknowledged it because Joe's been doing his videos too. We started training videos for our products. I think that we're very good product people. I think that one reason we do a lot of business is people like the fact that we understand products. We just don't sell things or take orders, but we literally help people provide solutions. So I think since end of March, we have put out 30-ish videos now. We were putting them out at a rate of 1 per week. We took a survey into it, and people thought it was a little much. So now we're putting them out at a rate of every other week. But we've put out 30 videos so far. We're going to continue that. This will be nothing that stops if, when and if we return back to previous normal. I think electronic information and education is important. That way people can do it at their own leisure. They can call it up when it becomes timely to them. It's really a good form of communication. So I think we took the time to look at things and say, what do we need to do to become a better company? And we've done that, right? We've done that with the videos. We've done that internally with some structure. And in the last couple of months, since August, we've hired 3 outside salespeople. I don't know anyone that's doing that in the market.
And I say it all the time, Mike. I've said it to you. I've said it to your staff. You have, quite frankly, invested a lot of your own money back in this company to do some of these things, right?
Yes.
And that is very impressive to me, because with COVID, crazy elections, and just everything that's going on in our world today, I'm just very impressed with the fact that you've invested the way that you have. I mean, you've taken some great risk, right? And I sure hope that the payback is huge for that, for everybody involved.
Well, I think it will be. I think that we've got great product lines. I think that we've got very good people. And I think our deficit is we need a broader audience.
Yeah.
So we need a broader audience in a couple different categories. So we've got 3 different types of salespeople that we've added. Contractors is a huge part of that. Quite frankly, in 1990, 91, 92, I mean, all I did was call on contractors. And I mean, at that time, I knew everybody, right? Over the years, you get pulled and you grow and whatever. And I've kept a small base of contractors that I do a lot of business with. And we just need to get wider. There are people out there that do not know who we are.
Yeah, and I'm just going to guess, Mike, this video goes out to somewhere around 200 contractors in the state. You've hired me to call on contractors basically exclusively, right? That's what I do. I want everybody to understand, as you start to get to know me, you're going to figure out very quickly that I'm new to this lighting business thing, but I want everybody to understand, when you get me, you get Mike as well, right? So, if we come across something that, is a little bit beyond the breadth of what I understand, Mike's going to be right there next to me, either in spirit, from conversations that we've had to make sure I understand what I need to understand, or sitting in the room next to me when we're with you. So Mike has always made himself available for that and I have no doubt that that's going to remain the same, right?
Absolutely. I mean, quite frankly, um, all the support is here for you and everybody in the company. So that there's no doubt about that. And just so we're clear, Joe's not brought on just to call on contractors. Joe's been brought on to grow the contractor business, right? So down the road, Joe will probably have multiple people working for him throughout the state, north, south, mid, and we're going to make contractors a big priority. There's a lot that of knowledge and help and assistance that we can provide. And the ones that are receiving that assistance, they appreciate it. They like it. And they keep coming back for more. So we need you, Joe, to help us, get out in front of more people and find opportunities so we can earn their business.
Yeah. And another thing I think is very much worth noting, Mike. So not only when I'm dealing with the contractors watching this, you're available, but it's also, I think, very important to understand that you've made some phenomenal relationships with the manufacturers. And because of those relationships, these manufacturers are available, right? We have a meeting tomorrow where we're bringing in a manufacturer to meet with a guy. And that's huge, right? For these relationships to where I can pick up the phone and call who I need to call. And they say, yep, we'll be there. What day do you want to do it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of lines that we represent. We've represented them for a very long time. And we do have very good relationships. The ones that we do the most business with, I really focus on making sure I have relationships at the very top.
Yes.
I'm an owner down kind of a guy, or CEO down kind of a guy. And so I like to have those relationships.
Quite frankly, the relationship that you and I developed over the course of the last year, say, played a huge role in me accepting a position. But one of the things that was on the top of my list, one manufacturer or two manufacturers specifically, the relationships that I was able to build with them was integral, right? The fact that I got to know these guys and they respond when I call them, that was huge, because I know what I don't know. And when I need somebody's help, I need them to be there, and they are. It's just huge.
Well, it's great when you've got people behind you that's got your back, right? The one thing's for certain, not everything is going to go well, right? I mean, humans are involved. People make mistakes, whether they're counting errors or this, that, we didn't check this, or who knows what's going to happen. Things will happen, and we just have to work through it. And when you've got people, you feel comfortable, you got people behind you, whether it's a PLS or at the manufacturer level, that's got to give you a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. So my next question is where we're going, and I think you pretty much summed that up. Is there anything you want to add to that, where you see the company moving forward?
Listen, we're a hybrid agency, right? Meaning that we do residential through industrial. We are going to continue to grow in all those segments. Although I think that the residential market is a challenged market these days. With all the builders consolidating to more and more national builders, there's less effect that can be done there. Commercial and specification and industrial. That's where a greater percentage of our energy will be spent in lighting renovations of facilities, specifications, and commercial, design build work, right? I mean, those are going to be the things that we're going to do more and more of. We're putting a huge emphasis on developers, which really was one of the core foundations of the business early on. And so I'm excited about the future, more excited than I've ever been. And barring something that I cannot see for next year, I think next year will be our best year ever.
Yeah. I'm very excited for that. And you kind of alluded to my next question there, Mike. The 5 things that PLS really excels at. You talked about multiple family living, design and build. Do you have anything to add to that?
Energy work. I think we've become very strong energy people as a result of Ryan really teaching me, to be honest, in the last 5 years. Specification. I mean, with the advent of bringing Tim O'Sullivan in, which I'm sure down the road you'll be talking more about Tim and his 12 years in the architectural world. Tim brings just a lot of strength and knowledge in the specification world. So, I think all those bode well for us and provide market share opportunities for us to grow.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add to that, Mike, something that we don't talk about a lot. We seem to really excel with service departments. These guys work on the fly. We could come up with some unique solutions quickly for them. So for all you service department managers, all, service truck techs, keep us in mind. So that has kind of been my bread and butter with PLS over the last couple of years, dealing with service departments directly.
Yeah, service departments are really important. It doesn't take a package. There are no spec lockers in the service department world. They're looking for good solutions for their customers. And those solutions can come in different forms, right? I mean, they can be basic solutions based on their customers' needs or budget, or they can move up the food chain and be highly energy efficient for just a fraction more money. And it's recognizing that those values in the customer and trying to match them up well.
Yeah,
I think when you begin to push better products or more efficient products, I think ultimately then the service contractor, I think, is adding value and might maintain his business relationship even longer with that customer.
And as we go through this process over the course of the next several months and several years, when we introduce you to new lines, what a great way to try something, right? You've got a service department that may only need a few fixtures and you want to try a line for the first time. What a great way to do that.
Right.
So, well, Mike, thank you so much for everything. Thanks for coming in here today and telling everybody a little bit about you. We're going to try to keep these interviews from inside our staff a little bit short, but look forward to everything that we've got going on, and look forward to getting out to meeting each and every one of you and introducing you to Mike face to face when the time's right.
Sounds great. Yeah, I look forward to getting back to basics. Contractors are the foundation of our business, and we have been neglectful in expanding those relationships, and we are taking the action to correct that. So we look forward to meeting each and every one and seeing what we can do to add value and earn your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Joe. Have a great day.